What was the best intro to a British rock song in 1997? There's a lot of competition. Bittersweet Symphony by The Verve came out in that year. The intro to that is pretty magical. The Chad Who Loved Me by Manson is an incredible piece of music with a spine-tingling intro. 100 Mile High City by Ocean Colour Scene came out that year, as did Song 2 by Blur. Not to mention OK Computer, Word Gets Around and In It For The Money. But the one I liked best, at the time at least, wasn't any of them. It was, in fact, the intro to a song that the vast majority of my viewers will never have even heard of. It was recorded by a band you've probably never heard of as well. So today I want to tell you guys about England's lost 1997 South Coast surf rock classic. The album the song was on was called Rhubarb, and the band were called Rootjoose. Rootjoose were a Cornish kind of funk rock surf band, and in their native Cornwall they were massive for a while, with everyone kind of expecting that they were going to break through into the UK mainstream. The band was signed to Rage Records, but they only had the one album. Rhubarb reached number 58 in the UK album charts, which was quite the achievement in 1997. They released 3 singles from the album as well, all of which broke the top 100, but none of which entered the top 40. I personally remember the buzz around the band well. They were big enough all the way down south in Cornwall that I'd heard of them up at the very top of North Yorkshire through the grapevine and via recommendations from other music-loving friends. The band's sound, in my opinion, definitely owes a debt to the band Dodgy, but with a massive extra helping of in-jokes and self-referential silliness from start to finish. It really is a sound and style all of its own, and on a first listen you might raise an eyebrow, like I did, and go, "That's unusual." And it is, but it's good unusual. Band member Jamie Crow said, "In 1997 we had a record deal and we were winning people over, but we weren't Britpop. Our image was a bit too Looney Tunes for the industry." And that's true. They didn't take themselves as seriously as Britpop did, nor were they as gritty and aggressive, but they were still class. On the strength of their debut release, the band had momentum. They apparently had an appearance on the chart show, and they had a massive cult following in Cornwall. Zoe Ball was also a fan of the band and had started bigging them up on the air. The band were right on the precipice of making it into the mainstream in the UK and getting playlisted by Radio 1. However, their story was not to have the happy ending that everyone, myself included, was expecting. Because, despite the momentum building behind the band, just before they had the chance to really properly break through into the mainstream, right in the middle of one of the golden ages of UK rock, everything collapsed. Rage Records, to whom they were signed, went bankrupt. And the planned re-release of one of their singles with the backing of Radio 1 promotion fell through, and so Rootjoose came to its frustrating and untimely demise. Band member Jamie Crow said, "If the rules had been what they are now, where every download counts as a chart position, we would have got into the charts. But back then, you had to sell a certain amount of records in every registered record store around the country. We were outselling the Spice Girls down here in Cornwall at one point, but then at the end of 97, we played the Radio 1 breakfast show on ice, and Zoe Ball saw the gig and really liked it and started talking about us on the radio. Just at the point the record company pulled out, we were about to re-release Can't Keep Living This Way, and Radio 1 would be much more on board with it. That was a spectacularly close shave and very frustrating." Sadly, despite being such a brilliant album, Rhubarb isn't even available on Spotify today. I was able to find it in one place only, which was here on YouTube, and the link to that video is in the description. And now that I've told you the tragedy of Rootjoose, now I want to show you the first track I ever heard off that album, and the song which, at the time, I considered to be the best intro to any rock song of 1997. It's track 3 on the album, the amusingly titled and incorrectly spelled Paradiddle Song. And before I play it to you, let me just explain what a paradiddle is. It's a drum rudiment where one part plays this rhythm, and then the other part plays the exact same rhythm, but filling in all the gaps left by this one. The paradiddle song takes that drum rudiment and applies it to guitar parts. And I bloody love what they do with it. Not only do they play this mad overlapping rhythm using two different guitar parts, they also fade the song in so no one quite knows where beat 1 actually falls, so everyone kind of hears the riff in a slightly different way. Let's have a listen. So there's the drums playing paradiddles. There's the first half of the guitar riff, panned all the way left. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3. So the second riff just came in, panned all the way right, and it came in on beat 4. That's about to happen again. Oh. Guitar 1 just changed its riff. Then the drums came in and completely inverted the riff again. Guitar 2 changes. What an intro that is. It's so unpredictable, original and cross-rhythmic. Some people out there might go, that's nothing special, I like this better, I like that better, but bear in mind there are people out there who actually like the Venga Boys. Of course, music is hugely personal and subjective, but for me, as a music nerd who loves cross rhythms and interesting stuff that just sounds different to everything else, despite the majesty and the heights of stuff like Urban Hymns, Be Here Now, OK Computer and the other mainstream British rock of the day, this was what I consider to be the best rock intro to any song released by any British band in the year 1997. And yet, somehow, the band aren't even on Spotify. Outside their native Cornwall, they're not well remembered, but they should be. So if you've never listened to Rootjoose before, go and check out their only album. The link to the YouTube video of it is in the description. Be prepared for some shit-hot drumming, some blistering guitar solos, amazing close harmonies, great songs, and an overall very silly set of lyrics. And that's it. Thank you so much for watching. I realise my pick is a really obscure and left field one, but what's yours? Let me know what your choice would be down in the comments below. Coming up soon, there will be a Patreon-only video on the 5 most irritating rhymes in rock and pop. So if you're signed up, that will be available to all supporters on Patreon exclusively, hopefully in the next few days. This video is also available there, ad-free, along with, at the time of filming, over 30 other videos which can only be viewed on Patreon. The link is in the description. And, as always, a massive thank you to all of my current supporters on Patreon. Thank you so much for watching, and as always, I'll see you next time.